So Namaskaram, good evening all. We are starting the revision of PGBP chapter, next section, that is section 32. Now, according to section 32, because it's a very big section, obviously I'm not going to touch upon each and every aspect of the section, but I'll just discuss about majority important aspect. There are 10 different points that you should know before you can learn the depreciation. It's a very big concept in income tax law. So the first and foremost important aspect is type of class of the assets and rate of depreciation. Now, please understand, in income tax law, we never compute depreciation on asset individually. We always compute depreciation on the block. Then what do you mean by the block, sir? The block means, where is the definition of block? I came little now. Yeah, look at the definition of the block. Under section 211, block of asset means a group of asset, very important. A group of asset having a same category and the same rate. Two conditions, same category and same rate. Let me ask you only, my building is having 10% rate and my furniture is also having 10% rate. Can I create a one block of this? Yes or no? Building is also having 10% rate, furniture is also having 10% rate. Can I create one block? Answer, you are giving me mixed answer. Some people are saying yes and no. No, we cannot create the same block because building is having different category and furniture is having different category, though the rate is same. Two conditions are required, same category and same rate. Yes, I have four building 1, building 2, building 3, building 4. Obviously, I'm not going to compute 4 times depreciation. I will compute depreciation only once on the whole value of the 4 buildings because they are the same category and the same rate. Now, let me ask you the other question. In plant and machinery, the general rate of plant and machinery is 15% and general rate of computers is 40%. Now, let me tell you, this both belongs to the block which is called as other asset. Please understand, this both belongs to a block which is known as other asset than the plant and machinery. Okay, so they belong to the same category, but can I create a one block? Please tell me. They belong to same category. This is the same category, other asset, same category. Can I create only one block for plant and machinery and computers? Answer is no. Why, sir? Sir, though they belong to the same category, the rates are different. So, sir, when can you create a block? A block can be created when the assets are having same category and same rate. Because in income tax, we do not follow individual asset system. We follow block of asset system, which is mandatory to all the assessee. Individual system is also allowed to those assessees which are engaged into power generation. And they have opted for straight line method. So, which method of depreciation we follow in income tax? We follow WDV method. We do not follow SLM method. SLM is mandatory for all the assessee by default. WDV is mandatory for all the assessee. SLM, straight line method, is available only for those units which are engaged into power generation and distribution. Okay. So, sir, to understand the block, you need to know what are the class of the assets. So, I have divided assets into two categories, tangible assets and intangible assets. Any type of intangible asset, whether it is a patent, trademark, copyright, license, franchisee, any type of intangible asset will have depreciation rate 25%. Please understand, to compute depreciation, you need value. Please understand, you need value, then you need rate of depreciation, and then you need time factor, time. Okay, period. For how many periods? So please understand here, value means WDV, that we will discuss. That is actual cost concept. Rate of depreciation will not be provided in the question. When you compute depreciation in accounts, rate of depreciations are always provided in the question itself. Okay, but in income tax question, you should assume that rate of depreciation will not be provided in exam. And they will ask you to compute depreciation. So you will be having a very big question mark on your face. I have value, I know the time factor, I know how to compute depreciation. The only thing that you don't know, that is the rate of depreciation. Apart from that, rate of depreciation may also come as a multiple choice question. So you have to remember, you have to by heart the rate of depreciation. So please mark that particular point. Very important. All the intangibles are having 25% rate because we assume the intangibles will have life around 4 years, because after 4 years, the technology is changing very fast. The patent which is valuable today may not be valuable after 4 years. That can be the logic behind having such a high rate of 25%. Building, Normally it will have 10% rate. Correction, please understand. Everyone make this correction. Normal building is having 10% rate. Please make it correction in your notebook. Okay. Normal buildings depreciation rate is 10%. If the building is a residential building, then rate is 5%. If building is a wooden structure or temporary structure or a foundation for a plant and machinery, meaning thereby it is exposed to the higher rate of depreciation. Therefore, we are putting 40% as the rate of depreciation here. So for furniture and any electrical fitting, rate of depreciation is 10%. For any other asset means majorly plant and machinery, we are talking here. The general rate of plant and machinery is 15%. For motor car, normally it is 15%. But if you are using the motor car for passenger transportation or for plying and hiring business, then obviously the rate of depreciation has to be doubled. So it is 30%. The rate of depreciation of aircraft is 40%. The depreciation rate for vessel is 20%. Computer, including computer software, is 40%. Book and annual publication, 40%. Even annual publication for income tax book specifically. Every year you have to buy new income tax book. That doesn't mean you will throw away last year books. So they are saying the annual publication, though every year you have to buy new publication, still the rate of depreciation will be 40%. Pollution control equipment, 40%. Energy saving devices, 40%. This is a list of depreciation that you must remember. So what are the conditions to claim depreciation? You must be the owner of the asset. The asset must be used for business and profession. And you know the 180 days criteria. Do not get confused with 182 days criteria. Do you remember where we have studied 182 days criteria? In income tax, yeah, residential status. Exactly. In residential status, we are having 182 days criteria. In a depreciation, we are having 180 days criteria. Do not exchange, do not get confused. Residential status 182, depreciation 180. And you know that if I put to use asset for more than 180, will I get full depreciation or half depreciation? Please tell me. If I'm putting the asset for use for 180 days or more, full depreciation or half? Full depreciation. Very good. So less than 180 days, half depreciation. And for that, you need to remember the cutoff date. If you are using the asset in the first half of the year, if you are purchasing the asset in the month of April, May, June, July, August, September. So in these months, if you put to use your asset, definitely you will use asset for 180 days or more. If you put to use your asset on 3rd October, 3rd October is a cutoff date. If you count number of days from 3rd October to 31st March, it is exactly 180 days. It is exactly 180 days. Meaning thereby, if you purchase asset on 1st October, 2nd October, if you purchase on 1st October, you will use for 182 days. Therefore, full depreciation. 2nd October, 181 days, full depreciation. 3rd October, 180 days, full depreciation. 4th October, 179, half depreciation. Any date in November, half depreciation. Any date in December, half depreciation. Any date in January, half depreciation. Feb, half depreciation. March, half depreciation. Technically, how do you remember? How you are supposed to remember? If you purchase asset in the second half of the year, toward the end of the financial year, you will get the half depreciation. If you purchase asset in the first half of the year, you will get more depreciation, full depreciation. The cutoff date is 3rd October. Up to 3rd October, full. After 3rd October, half. If you are having confusion, please ask me, please stop me, then I will discuss with you. So what is the format? Opening WDV plus purchase. Purchases should be divided into less than 180 days and 180 days or more. Then whatever amount of sale consideration you have received, you have to subtract. We never compute. Please understand, in WDV method, we never compute profit or sale or loss on sale. And therefore, this will be closing WDV before depreciation. Then we have to subtract two depreciation and additional depreciation. Then you will get opening WDV for next year. This is the format that we have to follow. So whenever we have to compute depreciation on closing WDV, we always compute depreciation on closing WDV. Please understand, we always give first preference to that value up to which the depreciation has to be applied at the rate of half. Please understand, that means asset which is purchased and put to use for less than 180 days, that should be given the priority, and if balance, if any, then you have to compute full depreciation. To understand what I said, you have to solve many questions of depreciation. I believe you people have solved. If you do not understand, then you can ask me. I'll show you one question. Or let us take one example. One doubt I have got. Asset purchase on 3rd October will be considered full year. Yeah, exactly on 3rd October will be eligible for full year depreciation because it is 180 days or more. Okay. Let's discuss one question. Say for example, you are an assessee You are an assessee. Engage in a trading activities. Okay, you are a trading assessee. And you are talking about asset, which is building. Okay, rate of building is 10%. You must know that. Okay. Now look at the date of purchase or asset purchase. You have made a lot of purchases during the previous year. On 1st April 2020, you have purchased asset worth rupees 20 lakh, 2 buildings. On 30th September 2020, you have purchased 50 lakh rupees worth 3 building. On 31st December 2020, you have made another purchase of 40 lakh, 1 building. On 25th March 2021, you have made another purchase of 30 lakh, another 1 building. Okay, now please understand, these are the purchases that you have made. At the same time, you have sold one particular asset. You have sold one asset as on 1/4/2021 for 15 lakh rupees. One asset is sold. On 31st March 21, you have sold another asset for 35 lakh. Another 2 buildings you have sold. Okay, this is the data of sold. Opening WDV, you had 100 lakh, 20 assets with you. You have to compute depreciation with this much data. Let's start. How will you compute? Okay, how will you compute? First, you will create a table of building. So building 10% block. Opening WDV. Opening WDV, how much, sir? 100 lakh. You are having how many buildings? 20 buildings. 100 lakh, 20 buildings you are having. Add purchases. Now, whenever we add purchases in the block, please remember, my dear friends, the method is very simple. We will always write purchase and put to use for less than 180 days. And secondly, 180 days or more. Never write more than 180 days. It is 180 days or more. 180 days or more. This is how you should start with the answer. Now you tell me which one should I put in less than 180 days. Okay. Hello, please tell me, is it eligible for full depreciation or half depreciation? Asset purchase on 1st April 2020, full or half? You can use the abbreviation F for full and H for half. Asset purchase on 1st April, full or half? So full depreciation. Full depreciation. Okay. Asset purchase on 30th September, full or half? Sir, full depreciation. Very good. Asset purchase on 31st December 2020, 31st December. No, only Jan, Feb, March. It was only used for 3 months, half depreciation. Asset purchase on 25th March, full or half? Obviously, half depreciation. Okay. So these two are in full category, these two are in half category. So 40 plus 30, 40 plus 30 is 70, 1 plus 1 is 2 asset. So this 70 lakh I have to write here. This is very important. 70 lakh 2 asset. Very, very important figure. 70 lakh 2 asset. And then we have to check these two numbers. 20 plus 50 again 70, and but it is 5 asset. Okay. Another 70 lakh 5 asset. So how many total asset I am having right now? 100 plus 70 plus 70, that is 140, 240 lakh. 240 lakh, but we are having almost 27 asset. 27 buildings we are having. 240 lakh worth 240 lakh, we are having 27 building. From that I have sold 2 buildings. Okay, sold. Now whether you have sold asset, please understand, at the beginning of the year or end of the year. This is not accounts. In accounts you provide depreciation before till the date of sale. Here we don't do that. We just simply subtract selling price. Whether you have sold asset at the beginning of the year or at the end of the year, whatever is the total, we just simply subtract that total from the total value of the block. This is nothing but a recovery. Okay, recovery of the cost of the block, and whatever amount you have recovered by way of sale, that much amount we should reduce, because we should not provide depreciation on asset which is sold. We never provide depreciation which is sold during the previous year, whether it is sold at the beginning of the year or end of the year. Very important aspect. There is a very good logic about it, but because you are a finalist, we are not wasting time on discussing those logics. Okay, it is also known as money payable in law. It is the selling price. What is the selling price, sir? 5 lakh plus 10 lakh, 50 lakh, 3 asset. So 50 lakh is subtracted for 3 asset. So this will be the closing WDV. 190 lakh, we are having 24 asset. On this 190 lakh, we have to provide depreciation. On 190 lakh, we have to provide depreciation. If anybody can compute depreciation, I'll be very happy. Okay. On 190 lakh, with this data, we have to provide depreciation. Anybody, please try. Okay. I got answer from Tai. Other, please try. We always compute depreciation first on less than 180 days. That's our first priority. So in 190, in the value of 190, 70 is a special value. So first we have to provide depreciation on 70 lakh. 70 lakh into 10% into 1/2. This is the first number that you should compute. And second number on balance if any. Balance if any. So how do we compute balance? You have to compute depreciation on 190 lakh. Already we have computed on 70 lakh. So balance into 10%. Please use your calcs and now tell me at least. $70 lakh into 10% is 3.5 lakh. And this 12 lakh, I guess. Is it 12 lakh or 13 lakh? I don't know. It is 12 lakh, right? The answer of this calculation is 15.5 lakh. Okay. If you subtract 15.5 lakh from 190, this will be the opening WDV of AY 22-23 next year. Okay. Come on, please tell me opening WDV. 190 minus 15. 174.5. We will be having 24 buildings with us. Do you understand this calculation? Hello? This is how we have to compute depreciation. You must remember this, okay? Some of the questions we need this particular logic. You can't take it lightly. Again, I'm asking you, if you're confused, you are free to ask me multiple times. I'll teach you. But this is how I don't want to waste time in revision, at least unless and until you ask me the query. I'm not going to waste time, because we are going to invest time on the areas which are complicated. These are the general calculations that you usually learn. So then there is the concept of additional depreciation. Additional depreciation is given at a rate of 20% on actual cost. It is only given to the manufacturing or power generation unit. That this is also you should know. Sir, it is only given when asset is new. Please understand, it is only given when asset is newly acquired. Now the most important point, do you remember the Andhra Pradesh and Telangana and Bihar provision? We used to give additional depreciation at the rate of 35%. You remember that? See, for whole India, additional depreciation is 20%. But for Andhra Pradesh, Andhra Pradesh, West Bengal, Bihar and Telangana, the additional rate of depreciation was 35%. Yeah, backward areas. Exactly. That provision. Now, that provision has sunrise clause and sunset clause. So what do you mean by sunrise? Sunrise means from this date, the additional benefit was given to them. It was available only up to 31st March 2020. It was available only up to 31st March 2020. After that, it is not available. Now, if after 31st March 2020 not available, and for us previous year is 21-22, then why the hell I'm teaching you this 35% provision? Why? So why are you teaching us? If it was deleted on 31st March, then why are you teaching us? I'm teaching you because in the last year, if asset was purchased and put to use for less than 180 days, then balance half depreciation will be available in the current year. Do you understand what did I say? If you purchase and put to use new machinery in the year previous year 2021, that is the last year, in Andhra Pradesh and Bihar, obviously you would have taken only 17.5 depreciation, additional depreciation. Balance 17.5% will be available in the current year. This is the note that you should remember. Additional depreciation is allowed in the year of purchase and put to use for 180 days or more. If asset is purchased and put to use for less than 180 days, only half additional depreciation is allowed in the year of purchase, and balance half will be allowed in the immediately subsequent AY. This note is very, very important if it is Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. Therefore, I am teaching. From next batch onwards, this point will be deleted because then it is not relevant. Is it clear? What did I say? Half in this year and half in the next year, if asset is purchased and put to use for less than 180 days. Is it clear? Yes. Okay. Now, additional depreciation is allowed on plant and machinery, meaning thereby it is not allowed on building, it is not allowed on furniture, it is not allowed on intangible asset. It is allowed on plant and machinery. On plant and machinery, you will get depreciation as well as additional depreciation. Both will be allowed. Excluding means negative plant and machinery. Negative plant and machinery means plant and machinery which does not substantially contribute to the manufacturing segment. If I purchase Mercedes-Benz or BMW for my directors, obviously it is a business expenditure. It will give them a comfort, but that will not really add anything in employment generation or wealth creation for the country. It will not increase the GDP of the nation. Okay, so that is the assumption. Therefore, what we are saying, sir, additional depreciation is allowed on all the plant and machinery, but on road transport vehicles, additional depreciation will not be allowed. If I purchase 5 trucks for transportation of my goods, I will get depreciation, but not additional depreciation. Is it clear? On road transport vehicle, I will get the depreciation because I'm using the vehicle for business, but not additional depreciation. Is it clear? Additional depreciation is allowed only on the plant and machinery. You imagine the factory structure. Yeah. Next, additional depreciation is also not allowed on aircraft and vessel. So on aircraft and vessel, which is used for a business purpose, depreciation is allowed. Additional depreciation is not allowed. Additional depreciation is not allowed. Sir, any equipment which is used in the office or a guest house, depreciation is allowed, but additional depreciation is not allowed. And any already used plant and machinery. So what do you mean by already used plant and machinery? Already used plant and machinery means second-hand plant and machinery. On a second-hand plant and machinery, whether it is a imported or domestic, will I get depreciation? Hello? Do we get depreciation on second-hand plant and machinery? Yes or no? If I'm purchasing the plant and machinery which is second-hand, will I get depreciation? And answer is yes. So depreciation is allowed. What is not allowed is additional depreciation. Okay, depreciation is allowed, additional depreciation is not allowed. Sir, plant and machinery on which entire amount, sir, entire amount means how much percent? 100%. Deduction is allowed in any other provisions of the law. Say for example, section 35 scientific research or 35 AD specified businesses where we claim 100% deduction. If 100% deduction is already given, 100% deduction is already given in the provisions, obviously, sir, you cannot expect depreciation on that. So will I get depreciation? Answer is no. Will I get additional depreciation? Answer is no. So what's the logic behind this? Beta, you have already claimed 100% deduction in section 35. How do you expect us to give depreciation and additional depreciation on that asset? That asset will not enter into block with any value. The value of that particular asset, the value of that asset on which 100% deduction is claimed for block, it will be nil. It will be nil. It will be nil. Zero value. Is it clear? This last point, is it clear? Because all other items I said depreciation allowed, additional depreciation not allowed. The last item is very important. Depreciation as well as additional depreciation, both are not allowed. Okay. Next one. Actual cost. So what do you mean by actual cost? Actual cost means the cost of the asset plus any installation cost, any incidental cost, minus any subsidy given or government grants given. Okay. If money is given by some holding company or any NGO, anybody, if you have contributed, that is not forming part of your actual cost, that has to be subtracted. The proviso to section 43(1) is very important. This proviso is very important. It says if you are going to purchase an asset, you have to purchase the asset by using account pay check, account pay draft, ECS or other prescribed mode. So what do you mean by other prescribed mode? Other prescribed mode, debit card, credit card, the UPI, Bhim app, all those. Okay, we have discussed those, NEFT, RTGS. So you can use those particular modes if you have to use. It's not you can, you have to use if the amount exceeds 10,000 rupees to a person in a day. If the amount that you are about to pay exceeds rupees 10,000, you must purchase by account pay check, account pay draft, ECS and other prescribed mode. If you purchase it by cross check, cash, bearer check, which is not written in this section, then the value of the asset will be ignored, meaning thereby will not get depreciation. So this particular amendment was done to reduce the cash transaction in the economy. And the other logic was many people were just showing that they have purchased the asset without purchasing the asset. They were just passing the book entry. Furniture account debit to cash 3 lakh rupees. Furniture account debit to cash 3 lakh rupees. There is no transaction. There is no documents. You have just entered it into block and then you are claiming the depreciation. Now that will not happen, because if you make the payment by account pay check, account pay draft, ECS and other prescribed mode, it will have at least validated entries and therefore there is some kind of reliable supporting. So government is trying to eliminate the manipulation that people were used to do by using the section 43(1). There are a lot of explanations given here. Again, I'm not going to focus more on all the explanation, just few explanation. Just now I have discussed, if asset is already used for scientific research, it will form part of the block but at nil value. If its asset is acquired by way of gift, if your father has given you gift or your grandfather have died and his factory building is becoming your factory building now, then you will get the benefit of WDV of a previous owner, WDV of a previous owner. So if you purchase a second-hand plant and machinery, there is a possibility of manipulation. Therefore, income tax officer, assessing officer is having power to determine and cross-check your value with a prior approval of joint commissioner. Reacquisition of the asset. So what do you mean by reacquisition of asset? So Reliance Industry and Triveni Engineering. The background of these two companies are Reliance is a highly profitable company and Triveni is a highly loss-making company. Okay. Reliance, for evading tax, please understand, they are selling their asset which is having WDV of 1 crore at 1 crore. This is the first transaction. Reliance is selling the asset to Triveni Engineering, asset which is worth 1 crore for 1 crore. So there is no profit and no loss in the books of Reliance. After few days, Reliance will reacquire the asset from a Triveni Engineering for 100 crore. Now, in reality, let me tell you, in reality, it was not a sold on repurchase transaction. These are only book entries. These are only book entries. And because these are only book entries, it was done to evade tax. How, sir? They have simply replaced asset worth rupees 1 crore with 100 crore. Please understand, asset rupees 1 crore with 100 crore. If you have done so, then what government will do, what AO will do, AO will say WDV at the time of transfer or a reacquisition price, whichever is lower. Okay. Next one, personal building converted into business building. If personal asset is converted into business asset, then you have to subtract notional depreciation till last year. But this particular provision is applicable only to the building, not to any other asset. This is what I have taught you in very much detail. So this ICDS reference is wrong. It was 9. Do you remember pre-acquisition interest and post-acquisition interest? Hello? Do you understand borrowing cost, AS 16? Hello? Do you understand AS 16? Little bit at least. We have something called pre-acquisition interest and post-acquisition interest. Pre-acquisition interest or interest paid up to the date of put to use or up to the date of ready to use is capital in nature, and post acquisition interest, it is revenue in nature. So any interest which is revenue in nature will be allowed under section 36 subsection 1 clause 3. It will be allowed as a deduction. But any interest which is pre-acquisition is capital in nature, it will be capitalized to the cost of the asset. This is written in AS 16 in accounts, and this is written in ICDS 9 in our PGBP chapter. Okay. Then if you have taken the GST credit, obviously you cannot include that much component in the value of the cost. If tomorrow I purchase one laptop, okay, laptop worth rupees 10 lakh and I have paid 2.8 lakh rupees GST on that, okay, I have paid to the organ seller 12.8 lakh. I have made a payment of 12.8 lakh, but my cost is not 12.8 lakh. My cost is only 10 lakh because 2.8 lakh will be available as the input tax credit in the GST law. Therefore, if you have taken the input tax credit, that component should not form part of the actual cost. Sir, if government is giving you any subsidy or grant to purchase the asset, that subsidy or grant has to be reduced from the asset. Sale of the asset, as I told you, just, not relevant point here as of now. I wanted to tell you only one thing, that whenever you make sale of the asset and a block exists, please understand, a block exists, we do not compute any capital gain. We compute capital gain under section 50 only when block ceases to exist. When we travel to 50, we will discuss there. Right now, this is not a time to discuss this particular provision. Okay. So what do you mean by unabsorbed depreciation? So in income tax, we compute profit and loss of a business. Say, for example, this is a P&L account. We compute profit without providing depreciation. My profit is 20 lakh rupees. And then we compute depreciation in another Excel sheet. My depreciation for the current year is, say, for example, 35 lakh. My depreciation is 35 lakh. Now my depreciation is 35 lakh, but my profit is only 20 lakh. My profit is only 20 lakh. So can I set off this? Answer is yes, you can set off this, but up to maximum 20 lakh, the balance 15 lakh will be carried forward as an unabsorbed depreciation for infinite years. So why do you mean why infinite years? Because this is not a loss. It is actually just a journal entry. You are not making payment to anybody. You are just providing journal entry in the books of account. And therefore, every year, this particular depreciation will have new life. I always say this particular profit is like a, it's like a sponge, and this depreciation is like a water. Whenever you put sponge on the water, the sponge will absorb the water to the fullest capacity. Okay. So if my sponge is having capacity of 20 lakh, but water is 35 lakh, obviously water is bigger than the sponge. So my sponge will absorb the water up to 20 lakh, balance 15 lakh will be unabsorbed. That water we will carry forward in the next year. We will add a next year's depreciation in that bucket, and then we will again apply the sponge of the profit. We will see whether it can be absorbed fully. If it is absorbed, excellent. If it is not, then you can carry forward to next year. It is not a business loss to have a limitation of 8 years. No. We will not have a limitation of 8 years on unabsorbed depreciation, and unabsorbed depreciation is always carried forward under section 32 subsection 2, not in set off and carry forward provision. Okay. Another important aspect of depreciation, it is mandatory to provide depreciation. So proportionate depreciation means if asset is used proportionately for business purpose and proportionately for personal purpose. For an example, if you are buying asset and car and you are using proportionately for business and proportionately for personal, 20% for personal, then 20% depreciation will be disallowed. Business reconstruction is a separate chapter altogether. We will discuss this provision in business reconstruction. Okay. I wanted to cover maximum provision. So the lecture is about to log out. Let it log out. You please re-log in. We will discuss the practical question after this session. Please log in after 5 minutes. Log in at 8:15.